Are you ready to find out why I believe these 3 swing tips could be destroying your golf swing? Stay tuned. Let's find out together. So myth number 1 is get the club to parallel. So what does that really mean? That means that the club is at the top of your swing, it's parallel to the ground. Now that might work if you have a really big shoulder turn, but for those of us that don't, and that's a majority of us, you don't need that club at the top of parallel. You just need it to match the majority of your shoulder turn. So to help you understand, if I have a shoulder turn that is, let's say, 80 degrees, my arms should be a little bit more out in front of my body. My club shaft is going to be nowhere near to parallel. Now how do I get that club to be parallel? I can open up my hips a little bit more, and then I'll bring my club a little bit further back, allowing me to rotate my shoulders. But at some point it just becomes too much, and now you have to work a lot to hit the golf ball. So if you find yourself trying to get that club to parallel, make sure it's still connected with your chest turn. Myth number 2 affects most of us, especially when we first start playing. So for those that play with other golfers that tell you, make sure you keep your head down, make sure you keep your head still, still, what do we start looking like? We start looking like a little bit Hunchback of Notre Dame, because at some point we start thinking, gotta keep my head still, and you're so concerned with keeping your head still, your body cannot turn, it cannot rotate, it cannot be free. The head is not gonna be still, it's gonna be steady. Now that's a big difference. It's okay to raise your head a little bit. It's okay to put your head down. It's okay to move it right or left. The natural turn of your body, your head has to move slightly. It's really rare to find somebody to keep their head very still and very still throughout the swing, because the body has to manipulate around the head. Just remember, it's okay to free it up a little bit. Now, if your head flies off in your swing, it's a whole different problem. The last myth I'm going to talk about is firing from the bottom. I hear this so much about sequence. You fire from the ground up. Now, although that's somewhat true, most of us start overdoing it, and we start spinning out, we start standing up at posture. So instead of firing from the top, think about your lower bodies being more stable, more connected to the ground to allow you to stay upright and in your posture. So what I mean is, instead of thinking about spinning and driving from the lower body, which usually forces you to stand up and fall back, hit a couple shots where your right foot is purposely trying to stay down and straighter. And you don't have to take a full swing, it's just getting you used to what it's like at impact to turn and turn through around a stable lower body, specifically a stable right leg. There are some people that we like to watch on television, and keep in mind, they're on television because they're extremely gifted and have extreme timing. Pair that with hard work and ethic, you can actually hit the ball from many positions. But don't try and emulate them. You want to emulate the people that look very solid. It's less prone for back injury, and you'll be playing golf a lot longer. Try and follow those 3 tips. As you get better in this game, as you get exposed to more information throughout age of technology, you can run across many different ways to swing the club. Now, I'm not advocating either one. You have to be very specific to your body style. Not everything's going to work for you. And most likely, if you read 1,000 swing tips and thoughts, maybe a handful of those might apply to you. So just be careful what you apply to your body, because your swing is precious. It's like a fingerprint, and it should be treated as such. So if you're not working with a pro, I highly suggest to at least take monthly lessons, or at least see them routine enough to help them distinguish what is myth for you and what is fact. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel grow to help people get educated for their swing. Fairways and greens.